How's the international break been?
Yeah, it's been good. We've used it well. I think we've had around 12 lads training for most of it, and trained really well. A little bit of time off so they could enjoy the time with the families and freshen up a little bit. But training's been really good, really intense. Trained really well, great attitude, and I think the boys are ready now to hit the next block of games.
Early days, obviously, but what's your assessment of how the season's gone so far?
Yeah, I think largely positive. Really, I think it's short, very short. So there's not loads to go on, but I think we feel there's a lot of good things that we've done, and the boys have shown in the performance. And I think at this stage it's just trying to keep improving and keeping our heads down and keeping our heads focused on what we can do. And there's a little group of games now until the next international break, and we'll take each step as it comes. It's a hell of a long season, so we're not getting too carried away either way. We're just taking it step by step and putting things in place. Obviously,
a lot of players have been away on international duty. Are they all back and okay, ready for the weekend?
Yeah, everyone who's gone away has come back, which is they've come back to start with, which is a good sign. Yeah. And they've come back fit. So yeah, all good.
And Preston next then at the Riverside. What do you expect from that?
Yeah, it'll be a tough game. Paul's an established, experienced and proven coach and manager who knows what it takes to get success in this division. So they've had a couple of weeks training time away from games that I think they probably can get their teeth into and have an impact on the group, which maybe they haven't had the opportunity to do so. So we'll see what that brings. We'll have to have our eyes wide open. There might be things that are a little bit new. We'll have to see, and be ready to adapt. But I'm sure there's some good work that's gone on on their behalf, and we'll have to be ready for that.
Thank you.
Hi, Will. Hi, Michael. Will from Time Tees. With the international break, do you feel that's given the new faces in the team a good chance to settle in?
To be honest, Ben's been away. He's been away. George has trained with us a lot, so that's good. Neto's been in and around us, so that's really good. But Ben obviously came late, so he's had a couple of days training, which is, the boys have all settled great. To be honest, it's a good group, and what they all say every time we kind of bring a new player in, the first thing is how easy it is to settle into the group. So that's a really positive thing from my point of view, and the boys are desperate to get up and running really and get on the pitch and perform.
And obviously you addressed the deadline day scenario with Emmanuel Lath after the Cardiff game. In terms of your perspective, is that all settled now?
Yeah, long gone.
And do you reckon that Preston they're going to be fired up, given that they've obviously got a new manager coming in Paul Heckingbottom?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's been there for a number of weeks now, but I think we've watched them obviously as they'll be watching us, and I think there's a natural kind of there's a natural uplift when a new manager and his staff come in, and as I said, I think the couple of weeks that they've had away from it, then we've got to be ready and prepared for what they've been working on. So we will be. The boys will be ready for
it. You mentioned all the internationals coming back. Fit, Michael. I imagine they've been kind of coming back in dribs and drabs through the week, and other, certain people have travelled further than others. Will that kind of play into team selection at all when it comes to the weekend? Yeah,
we'll definitely take a balanced view on that. I think we've got to be sensible. Like you say, some have played more than others. Some have done a bit more travelling. I think once we've can assess that, then we'll take a view on that. I think we feel that we're fortunate enough to have the choices and the balance within the squad that we can make those decisions. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, on the injury front of the players that missed Cardiff, have any managed to return during the break?
Riley's back training. Marcus is back training with us, but it's very early stages. He's had one day, and it's he's not fully back in, but he's in and around the group, and it'll take him a little bit of time to get up to speed. But nevertheless, it's great to have him back on the grass with us. So, and then Johnny and Ravs are not far off, but not quite there. So, apart from that, we're in good shape.
Would Johnny and Rav have any chance for the weekend, or is it?
No, there won't be this weekend, but we're hopeful that it won't be too long after that. There's a bit of a view we could have really, gone for it and pushed it a little bit, but it's not for the sake of a game or two. We don't feel it's worth it for the course of the season. That we take a balanced view on that really, and at the moment we're in good shape. So we're obviously desperate to get the boys back in and around the group, but as I said, it's a bit of a balanced view at the moment.
Yeah, having Marcus back must be nice. As you say, no doubt there will be a bit of patience because of a long time out and how last season went. I imagine for him he's really hungry as well, because when he did play, he showed how good he can be and how effective he can be. But he probably didn't play as much because of injury as he would have liked last season. Yeah,
of course. He's been out for a good period of time, Marcus. So he won't be close to being in the match day group just yet. I think that's a bit of time away yet, and he needs a bit of training and getting up to speed and feeling confident in himself as well. So that's a little bit further, even though he's great that he's training with us and he's back with us, but I wouldn't expect him to be involved in the next couple of weeks at least for games.
Yeah. On the after the transfer window, I mean, you look at the options now. You've mentioned no need to rush certain players back because of the options you've got. I guess it's a nice kind of problem to have, but it's a big squad now, isn't it? There's a lot of options. That's going to give you a few headaches moving forward.
No, it's not headaches. I think if you've got good players to choose from, then it's the perfect scenario for any coach and manager really, and the boys are a joy to work with, and we're going to need everybody to have some kind of success, whatever that may be this season. So it goes from game to game, obviously, but we got to look ahead of that and take our eyes away from just that, because that's why the squad is the squad, and you got to run with the bumps in the road through the season, and whatever that is, results, performances or injuries or whatever that may be, and we feel that we've got a squad that capable of doing that. So from my point of view, yeah, it's a real positive.
Yeah, I mean, do you have to do, in terms of if you get a run of consistency, I know there's been a lot of injuries, so you probably haven't had that, but when you do have a kind of run of consistency where you're picking a relatively similar team week in, week out, for those who aren't involved, is there anything you kind of do specifically to make them still feel involved and make sure they're keeping their levels up?
That's a massive part of the group, and what we do is to keep the massive part of what we do is to keep the group together, and everyone's massively important. It's from game to game. We feel like we've got the players that we can make maybe a rotation or a change here and there. But certainly everyone's important. Especially the amount of substitutes you can make now, and the strength in players coming off the bench. I think that's a real asset. So it'll change from week to week, and certainly no one will feel out of it.
Just lastly from me, Mike was coming from Manchester City, obviously a young boy, still getting up to speed, but how do you feel he's done so far, and how's he been showing himself in training? Yeah,
I think I said to you when he first came about being patient with Mike. He had went away to the States for pre-season and played some minutes, and didn't it's hard to get the kind of training time in, and then he comes in. It's a big change. He's been at Man City since he was a young boy, so certainly over the last couple of weeks you can see the spark in him, and you can see him growing in confidence. You can see his fitness getting sharper. So we're really pleased with the way he's going, and I'm sure he'll progress and he'll improve as the season goes on, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean that feels for you, without making any comparisons to other individuals in terms of ability or anything like that. But it springs to mind Morgan last season. He kind of, when he first came in, wasn't necessarily starting week in, week out. But once he hit that level, he really got going. It just took a little bit longer. Could it be similar with Micah in that sense? Yeah,
listen, I get why you're mentioning it, and you've said it about not comparing. I certainly wouldn't want to compare. It's very different. Morgan had been out on 3 loans before he came to us, and Micah's largely been at City for a long period of time, and experiencing a different environment for the first time, and different league. So it is different. But in terms of younger players, I think to be patient, to pick the moment to put them in the team, give them a rest, when's the right moment to look after them and help them, and that's part of the development, and that's part of what we enjoy, and we feel we've done to a degree, not bad so far, and so yeah, certainly Mike is right in that bracket, and we got and I'm sure we will. We get the best out of him, and he'll have a good season.
Just a couple more injuries. I know they're a bit further behind, but Dale, Darren, Tommy, are they coming on?
Yeah, just a bit further really. just a little bit further. Dale's back out on the grass. Darrow's not far behind him again, so they're just at different stages, as I said, really. So Tommy's a little bit further as well. So the other boys are all a little bit closer.
And how's Sonny doing? Because I'd seen him take a bit of a knock to the back, was it?
Yeah, he played against Salford, and took a bit of a hit in the back, and his hip stiffened up. But hopefully he's all right.
Still there, then?
He's still there. Yeah.
Just ask you about Ben. I know he's been away, but kind of everything you read about him, there's a real confidence there and a load of character, despite the fact he's only 19, and this is his first loan. Is he in now? Is he?
Yeah.
What's he
No, he's been in since Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. He's really impressed. I think he's settled in really quickly and had an impact on the group, and he's obviously desperate to get going and play and be part of the team. So again, it's when it's new, it's a new environment, a little bit of helping them settle and helping them get used to the way we do things and play. So we'll as much as we expect, and we hope that he can be the player that we know he can be. We'll be a little bit patient with him as well, and bed him in at the right time.
Where's he most at home, position-wise?
On the right.
On the right.
Yeah.
With him. Why did he choose Borough? Because obviously there's plenty of competition. Why did he?
I don't know. You'll have to ask him, really. I think we obviously we're keen to get him on board. We know the type of player and the potential he's got and the strengths that he's got, and feel like he'll fit us really well, and we just put a case across, really, and he was terrific to speak to, and he's delighted to be here. So in terms of the reasons, you'll have to ask him, really, when it comes down to that. But he's delighted to be here, which is great. He's trained really well for the days that he's been here, and he's chomping at the bit to get going.
And is George ready to play if called upon?
Yeah, George has trained all the way through, and previous to when he's been at Ipswich, he's trained all the way through. So he's fit.
I know you obviously got a few players out injured, but is the squad now as strong as you've known it since you've come here?
Yeah, it certainly feels strong. I think we've got a good balance within the group as well. I think we've got some real freshness and youthfulness and talent and ability that we need to monitor. We need to nurture a little bit, and we need to be careful how much we expect at certain times. And then we've got really good senior players who with good character and personality who set the good example, which is really important for the younger players, and look after them. And a few in and around in the middle. So we feel we've got a good group, numbers wise, to get us through the season, and quality wise, then time will tell, for us being good enough.
Just lastly from me, Josh got off to a good start, and his loan must have been pleased.
Yeah, delighted to see Josh do well. Had a few Millwall fans randomly stopping me and thanking me. Yeah, over the last couple of weeks. No, when I was back in Manchester, just randomly bumping into me and saying thanks for letting us have Josh, and thanks. And he's done great. So yeah, I'm delighted for Josh. It's that's exactly the reason he's gone there, is to play games and do well and score goals. So yeah, really chuffed a bit from him.
Thank you.
Michael, you mentioned Ben there, his arrival. Obviously it's a challenge for Asaya. Jones, he's just got his first 2 international goals. I mean, he must be flying, coming back in, and is this something that maybe Asaya's needed, this extra quality and battle for?
I don't think necessarily. I just think in general, I think to get through a season, you need depth, you need strength and depth through games to games, within games, to freshen things up, to change things. And there's been a period of time where it's pretty much been Izzy on the right hand side for injuries and what have you. So I think we need to balance that off as well. And we feel he's the perfect kind of complement for each other, between Ben and Izzy, and getting Marcus back in the group. So I think if you want to be competitive and you want to be successful over a long period of time, over the whole season, then you can't rely on one person for each position. And I think that's why we've tried to build the squad as we've done it.
Have you managed to speak with him about his experience on international?
Yeah, I spoke to him. He enjoyed it. Yeah, a couple of goals and a couple of good finishes. So. Yeah, he's back, he's bouncing, he's happy.
I don't know if you saw his first game where the helicopter interrupted the game, nearly took his head off.
Oh yeah, I didn't say that. He's alright now, so that's amazing.
And obviously you assess all your players' performances and stuff, but how many of them have assessed yours from last week? You look like you hadn't lost a step.
What, playing? No, that's a different type of football, that. Did I enjoy? I enjoyed seeing old faces. To be honest, I enjoyed going back to Old Trafford and seeing some of the staff and certainly players that I played with. In terms of playing, I think once you've played and you've hit a certain level, when you can't do that anymore, me personally, it's a little bit of a, it doesn't give you the same feeling. But nevertheless, it was for a great cause. It was, we raised, I think it was nearly £1 million for charity. So for that side of things, fantastic. We had a really good day football wise, and that then. Not so much, but it was a good game, and in the end, as I said, charity was the real winner.